Hold on one moment, y'all. Picking up where we left off, guys. Let's just recap on explaining the foundations of success, and then we'll move on to life skills for this chapter. Okay. And we are live on our YouTube channel. So that's going to be available for you guys who ever need to go back and do a recap. Make sure you follow DCI Education Group and take a second listen, third listen to our lesson. All right. So just a light recap. These are some of the foundations of success. We discussed communication, decision making, image building, customer service, self actualization, goal setting, and time management. So we're going to kick off all of those in the next coming weeks because these are considered the foundations of success. And like I said before, with anything, you can't bottle up success. There's nothing really I can sell you that can guarantee it. Okay. But there are so many different components. You got to build it. All right. You're going to have to put in some work. I posed a question today in the group. So let's just start because we are talking about success and moving into business and things of that nature. So the question that I posed in the group today primarily talks about interruptions in your business, especially if, thank you guys, especially if get products. Your business relies heavily on products from Canada, products from Mexico, or products from China. Okay, so everyone, I feel like it's been on its way, but everyone got a stern taste of it this morning. Thank you. Everyone got a stern taste of it this morning when they started getting emails and things from vendors, and overnight there were pauses or additional payments required as the product is moved from customs and things of that nature. So, how, excuse me, how does that literally affect you? I asked, can you look in your living room? Can you look around your house? What products from the US that you literally, you know, live with and work with? And I tell a lot of people it's not many. It's not many. We don't produce a lot of stuff. We're good at making money, but a lot of the United States citizens we purchase from overseas. Our meat and a lot of our meat, a lot of our furnitures and things like that come from Canada. A lot of our waters, other than what they bottle here, and a lot of our fruits and vegetables, clean fruits and vegetables, come from Mexico. When you look at estheticians, a lot of the machines are made overseas. Your facial devices are made overseas. And then also, when you look at Korean skincare or any advanced skincare treatments, could be in different areas overseas, but China is still heavy. But China still runs the major operation for hair, hair extensions, and lashes. So if your business pertains to any of that, I think everybody needs a quick study on some of the choices that's been made and how it affects our business, and come up with not just plan B, but you need about 7 different plans just in case, just in case, just in case, just in case, because you're still going to need to operate. So those have been some things that has been talked about today. And so I want to make sure that in the shift that my students are prepared, you're aware. Some people can be ignorant to the fact and say, just, I don't care if the United States Post Office is not delivering anything out of China, but there are other factors, USPS, not USPS, UPS, FedEx, DHL, things of that nature. But it may not be in the budget for every small business. So if your business has anything that you get that comes outside of the US, just please be mindful, number one, um, of the what a tariff is and what the additional tariffs can cost. So have that in your budget, which means whatever you did sell your products for, because you're paying more for it to come in the building, okay, more for it before it gets in your hands, you need to recoup a cost. And so this is not the time. I had a student, Jasmine, one of my favorite students, very successful. She shared my post. She said, this is not the time for things to go on sale. So this is not the time for us to be bargaining. Okay, this is not the time for us to be bargaining and trying to make everything go cheaper and things of that nature. You literally have to make up for what you're spending up front. All right. So the key is not to cheapen, because you're never going to recoup the costs. So you got to at least make sure that you're getting at least 60% profit. Whereas you're probably getting 100 to 200% profit on some things, the minimum needs to be 60%. Okay. Of course, we all would love 100, but the medium would be at least 60%. And so I just want to make sure our students are aware you're doing business, but checking everything. Yes, some things due to the changes are probably going to cause a drop in income for some individuals, maybe your clients. And so, we also need to go look at our services we provide. Not to say $200 service won't be worth the $200 service, but it just may be not a service that you promote right now, because your clients may only be able to afford $150 service. So it may have to be something you may have to customize. But we've been here before. We roll with the punches. I just want you guys to be in a place of preparation and not fear. Okay, so all is well. If you have business in beauty, don't be discouraged. Prepare now, get a plan, and make sure that plan goes forward. Okay, let's look at life skills in action. Oh, anyone have any comments? I hate to just jump in, but if you have any comments, you can unmute. And sadly, I was talking to a braider today, and I was telling her, of course, she gets her hair from overseas. If you have extra money, go ahead and stock up on some of your hair at some of your local beauty supply stores, simply because when people find out that it's scarce, they tend to run the price up on what's left. Okay, so you don't want to be caught in between price gouging and overpay for what you've been paying for. So, even with her, she has to come up with a plan. All right. I don't really do a lot of stuff out of the US, maybe shampoos and conditioners and stuff. But as far as hair stuff, I like Brazilian, Italian based products. Hair color, I like Italian or Canadian color. I even like colors that I made in Mexico. On real talk, when it comes to professional color, I don't really like anything that's made here in the United States. And as far as skincare, some of the best technology is overseas. It's in Germany and it's in China. So yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do. So that's something I want you to just check out and just keep in the back of your mind on a for real business tip is building some other avenues to make sure your clients don't suffer. Someone unmuted.
That was me, Destiny.
Hey, what you got?
Hey, yeah, I was just gonna say, like, if America did stop, importing goods from China, like, would the country even survive?
Right, right.
You know, I think they would, technically, but it would cause a disruption, a real bad disruption if they did, because everything in our house is like pretty much from China.
Yeah. And
So,
my feelings were hurt
even
because
the
I was just
clothes,
about to order some from Temu.
Mexico,
Yeah.
yeah, that too.
I
So,
would really be hurt with Mexico because
right,
some of you guys know I farm, but I farm on the marketing end of it.
yeah,
And honestly, they are paying Americans, farmers, not to plant in the ground. They
mm,
would literally pay you every month to plant in a planter. They don't want you to put the plants in the ground. Now, what is going on with the ground? You
I
know, a
have,
lot of people have said that. So, and a lot of our fruits and vegetables come out of Mexico.
I
So,
didn't know that.
yeah, a lot of them. And then some of our clean meats are shipped from Canada.
Mm,
Like they have some of the richest herds, some of the cleanest meats, and they ship already. And Canada has basically, I remember this a couple of years ago when I was a consultant for Brunner Brothers and went up to Canada getting
hmm,
some individuals, and they had they had to pay tax to come across the border to do business to do business in America. Well, if
yeah,
if the Canadians, strike back, there's a higher tax, and they don't want them to do business over in the United States. So I don't think it's thought out at all.
mhm, right.
But it may work for the big business people. They got billions of dollars, but for
Mm,
us trying to figure it out, it just doesn't work for us. But even you really have to think about it. Like, what do you have in the US? I would challenge everybody to go through their house and like, yeah, it'll be a harder transition. And honestly, you want some better quality, but in America, and then we're gonna move on.
hmm,
Manufacturing is expensive. That's why they shipped everything over to China. So you have to think. I think Nike is still over there.
yeah,
There's a lot of brands every day that we don't know that's factory work that's being developed over there. So
hmm,
it your swag game can even be messed up. Who knows?
right.
Yeah.
It's
So
crazy because yeah, Nike over there. What else? I don't think it's in China, but overseas Chanel and all
mhm.
that name brand stuff, high end name brand stuff. You
I'm
know,
really um
I think China make it though. I think I'm not sure.
yeah, or Italy when it comes to Gucci and stuff.
Right,
I'm really concerned with those individuals that sell hair. One of my
right,
students,
right.
because I don't know if anybody is an expertise in extensions, but they can call it what they want because it's marketing. So they can call it Brazilian, they can
Mm,
call it Peruvian, they can call it Indian raw. It's just marketing.
yeah.
But China, for a long time, has had a governance, like a treaty with the United States, where they were the
Mm,
major ones who could sell hair to the United States. And so all of it had to go through one era. And they even fought themselves. They were even in a fight themselves on who could sell to the United States. That's how much
mm,
money power we had.
yeah.
So, and think about who buys the extensions. And so China has literally went over to India and said, we will buy all of your extensions, bring it, you cut it, do what you got to do, but bring it to us. They've done the same thing all across the globe. And so all of your hair extensions literally are coming from one region of the world. And from some of the posts from vendors that I've seen today, they're saying they're not going to go up on the pricing, but in order for you to get it, you got to pay their tax. I just want us
Yeah.
to be prepared to pay that. And the only thing I look at now is this is the time of collaboration. So if three of you
Yeah.
guys sell hair, sell lashes, and you're doing, small MOQs, need to come together, order together, and
Mhm.
to, it ain't got to be forever, but order together to get what you need. So you're just not one person on the side. You barely can't afford to give anybody a cut because you pay so much up front. So that's something I just want my students to be aware. And when we
Well,
talk
now
about
we
this,
know.
yeah,
So,
now you know. So even from food to shoes, now you know. And especially if a lot of people who do private label, like Houston is a big manufacturer of hair products. I don't know if anybody knew that. California is too. So hair products not really phased, but as far as skincare, as
mhm.
far as our facial machines and devices, oh yeah, we're about to be hit if they don't figure it out. Okay, because all of y'all coming
Mhm.
out, y'all probably gonna open spas. You got to go here,
Yep.
got to go there, and if you get it in the United States, it is. And I've seen companies like Skin Act. There's a company called Skin Act that does facial machines. All of their machines are private labeled out of China, so they may have their brand on there, and they sell them for like 5 times more than what you're buying for in China. So
Wow.
even those companies are affected.
Mhm.
So it can be a lot. So y'all tell y'all president to chill, to chill. Okay, let's. I'm. If that has helped you, okay, that has helped you. Put a one in the chat. If it's healthy information, I want you guys to be prepared. Put a one in the chat, and just stay tuned. All right. So look at life skills in action, and thank you, Amber, for that commentary. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Awesome. So, life skills in action, important life skills for a satisfying career, being helpful and caring. Y'all, it doesn't hurt nobody to be nice. Being helpful and caring. How can I help you? And I think I talked about how can I serve you. Okay. Um, I know a couple of times you can go, and honestly, y'all, I've been in this hospital, we say 43 days today. And I sat in 43 days today. I just sat for a little while. And I can tell you, maybe 3 days, I've had good customer service in the food area. Just automatically, really bad impressions, people not acknowledging you, or people don't want to be at work. And it made me sad because they came to work, they have no other choice, they got to pay their bills. But it let me know that this was not a good working environment because everybody had an attitude about being at work. And when people are here with their families, I've seen so many people have losses and things of that nature. They don't want an attitude. You ain't got to kiss nobody butt either, but a hello, a wave, an acknowledgement will be okay. I've never seen it where people just did not, and maybe it's a thing, people just don't speak when you come in the room. I mean, just no form of niceties at all. Okay, hold on a moment. Down. You want to take it off? Yeah. Okay. That's it. What else? You good? Okay. But yeah, so being helpful and caring. Remember, guys, you are providing a luxury service. And in you providing a luxury service, their experience is really trumps what they actually receive. How you make them feel. That's what I want you to walk away with today. How do I make them feel? How do they feel when they are with me, when they're in my presence? I want to make them feel amazing. I want to make them cancel any issues that they have outside of before they came into this salon or spa. Okay. Before they walked in my treatment area, whatever was going on outside, it's outside. They're in a total different place. So just being helpful, being caring, and it's about changing the atmosphere. All right. If you're a happy person, that means when you walk in the room, everybody gravitates towards your happiness. So there's nothing wrong with smiling and making good friends. What's the difference between making good friends and bad friends? Can somebody tell me what it is? What would be an example of making good friends?
I would like to know that as well. Somebody please tell me.
Right. What's making? Give me a characteristic of a good friend. Making good friends.
Jada can answer this.
Jada has some experience. Jada, are you working, Jada?
Like you could be a sincere person, but you just can't make or make good friends.
Mm, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't understand it.
I've had to fire friends before. And my brother used to joke with me and say, "You don't have a lot of friends." I said, "Right, I can put them all on my hand."
I don't
Okay,
either.
yeah, I can put them all on my hand. Um, I really just use my discernment
Right.
and just really lean on that.
Mm,
Even as adults, that can be mean girls, that can be, and
yeah.
I think when you think about making good friends, I see how well I communicate with them, but I
Mm-hmm.
cannot do friends like and relationship.
Right.
I'm sorry, I'm probably not gonna be that kind of friend that you're mad at me because I didn't call you. I'm like,
Right.
but you're not my man, you know. So
Yeah.
I'm more of a relationship person with the opposite sex than being really, really girly and really, really friendly. So I don't
Right.
know exactly what that is, but I have had that where the friend was kind of jealous that I was always with a spouse or something of that nature. And I'm well,
Mm-hmm.
this probably is not gonna work because I'm not gonna answer and have a friend girl relationship like it's a spouse relationship. That kind of scares me. And literally people be too friendly and I back up a little bit because I feel like, it's too you're trying to build too much of a
Right.
relationship.
It's a motive or something.
Yeah.
You
So
know.
I just sit back.
Right.
And you have I have two friend groups. One is guys, and I
Mm-hmm.
have a friend group that's girls.
Yeah.
Um, we're not in the same state. We just brought a new friend into the group, and I think we're probably been. I've known her for about a year and a half, but this week we just welcomed her to the crew.
Okay.
So it took a year and a half for us to say,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Yeah. So, and we all were thinking like, I don't know if this gonna
Well,
work
you just
out,
right. You just
so
gotta feel a person out, and see how they are
yeah.
because, like you say, you just have to have discernment because there's so many bogus people out here.
Right, right. So that's something you have to really check out. But I think everybody has those experiences.
Right.
And even when you go into work, it's almost like let's go into work. It's a team, but don't think
Mhm.
real quickly that these people are family or friends because what you put out may not
Yeah.
always be, what you're gonna get. And so that's a lot of times why I'm really apprehensive of young people being in the classroom because I don't want them preyed on by some of
Mhm.
the older people. And this never happened with you guys, but we did have a situation where a young lady, she always attempted to come into the classroom in our last building. You guys never even knew, but she, you know, had a trafficking background, and she
Oh
was
wow.
only supposed to do, Zoom. And I just didn't feel safe with her being in the building with my younger students. And she always tried to come in like she forgot. And I'm like, no, she didn't last long. She got dropped from the program because seriously, those young people are our responsibility. I can't have someone with that background and then it always seemed like it was fishy that you would feel like this was a place for you to pick up your victims. And so I can get really picky about who even attends and becomes a student because I don't want to put anybody else in harm's danger. That's a major responsibility on the adults in the building. So um, that I'm even looking at it from that point of view. And really, when you look at the news every day, a lot of stuff happening. You don't even know that lady, she was nice. You didn't even know that she was doing all that when she got home. But that's seriously. If you have had issues with making good friends, you may want to pause. You may want to
Mhm.
create a list of what do you look at as far as a good friend. So make you a checklist and then start checking it off. For me,
Yeah.
birds of a feather flock together. So I always thought that I would be characterized like how this person was perceived. And so that cut off a lot. So,
Yeah.
and that was one thing. So make your list about making good friends, feeling good about yourself. That
Mhm.
is key. All
Yeah.
right. So I want everybody, you have to feel good about yourself. Okay. Don't expect, don't initially expect anybody else to just continuously do it. That's that self actualization. You got to feel good about yourself. And when you feel good, you look good. When you feel good, you look good. You do great
Right.
work. All right. So you want to make sure you're good. Maintaining a cooperative attitude. Okay. I may have had a little too today. I can admit it. All right. But we're very offensive when it comes to our parents. Okay, so I can have a little too today, and I do apologize, but making sure you're in the right attitude, because what do they say? You get more done with honey. Okay, you can get more done with honey, just putting a little sweetness on it. Work with a strong sense of responsibility. Okay, if someone puts you in charge of something, that's what you're in charge of. Okay, so being accountable, that's what you're in charge of. Being consistent, people can trust you. All right, they know that you're going to be there, and adapting to different situations. What I found is there is a younger generation that is supposed to be just like this. Yes, it is. But there's some people that are not adapted to quick change. So they may find themselves a little frustrated because they thought it was like this, but then it got switched around. So I want you not to have that type of frustration. Don't let that build up, because things could change in a heartbeat. What I always try to do is find what's the solution. Okay, so we're not doing that. We're doing this. And I just need to have it make sense in my brain, and I'm gone. Okay. All right. So we're not doing it this way. We're doing it this way. Is the job still going to get done? Yes. All right. If the job is getting done, I don't have a problem with adapting. So let's adapt to different situations. You don't have to come down. You don't have to lessen your standards, but sometimes you just come down, make yourself human, and then go back up. All right. You got to make yourself approachable. You want people to feel comfortable around you. And then sticking to a goal and seeing a job through. If you tell me you're going to do it, I'm looking for you to do it. Then I'm looking for you to do it in the best way possible. I'm looking for you to do your best. And if you don't, it kind of registers in my mind. We're going to get past it. But when it comes time for recommendations, people saying, hey, I met southern blues singer, um, Anthony Q, in a restaurant, and he was having a birthday party at the Orpheum. He sings, he's like up there with King George and stuff. And he was talking, and I ended up talking to the manager, and they were like, hey, we got such and such coming in town. We always need this person, always need that going on. I said, definitely call me. And I don't mind plugging my students in. And so he said, are they professional? Are they nice? Are they professional? And I was like, okay, of course they're nice and professional. But that was his thing. Are they nice and are they professional? So those would be two things that when you're going and you're building and people can build trust, they want to know, do you have a kind spirit, and are you going to be professional? So, and I told him yes. So when he calls and some artists coming in town, I'm gonna be calling my students. But that's adapting to different situations, sticking to a goal and seeing it through. You're gonna show up, becoming more organized. That's always a thing. All right. But here's the thing: if you deal with clutter, you'll feel better. If you easily can get cluttered, you'll feel better. And clutter is a telltale sign of anxiety and depression. So you got to get that clutter out the way. You got to clean that closet out. You got to clean that car out. And my car tends to be the thing. And when I see my car cluttered, like right now, y'all don't even know I was in a car accident. And so I don't have my car. But at the same time, when it was cluttery with all kind of school stuff, bags and all kind of stuff, I felt like, oh, I'm feeling down. So I would have to make sure I clean my car out, and that would boost up my spirit. So you just got to make sure you get rid of clutter. You have it at home or in the closet, whatever. It can breed disorganization. It can breed anxiety, breed whatever those negative thoughts are. So you got to get rid of the clutter and become more organized. And developing sound decision making skills, which means when people say stand on business, what exactly do they mean? When people say stand on business, what does that mean? Who can tell me what that means? And someone says she stood on business on that one. What does that mean? All right. So if someone says stand on business, pretty much on whatever decision they made, they're not wavering from it. All right. Whatever decision they made, they're not wavering from it. And I know the Bible speaks about double-minded people. So what we need to do in business, and you're going to be networking, you're going to be growing, you got to be able to weigh everything around you, and you got to be able to make a decision. When in business, one of my pet peeves is going back and forth with a person that doesn't know. Just going back and forth with a person that doesn't know. So, huh? Hold on. Hold on, you guys, one moment. Yes. It's no, it's 6:45. All right, guys, we're back. So yeah, developing sound decision making skills, and as you grow and you mature, you'll be able to do that. One of the biggest things in business, you want to make sure that you develop those skills prior to. This is also a good reason why individuals go into commission salons and they become a mentee under a mentor, because not only do you learn what they know, their functions, some of the best practices to stop you from making big mistakes, but you also learn business tactics, okay? Um, and those business tactics will take you to the next level. So most of the time, I'm probably always going to advise that my students who graduate go into a junior position at a spa or at a salon for at least a year. And you may say, Ms. Cox, why is that? So you can learn, so you can glean, you can build your time, build on your education, take additional hands-on training classes. Everybody's not going to do that. So if you do decide, hey, I think I'm going to go out on my own, fine, amazing, not going to knock it. But there are so many branches that you got to make sure you're covering, okay? And so I don't want you to get out there and not have what we would consider like a family concept to help you along the way. when you're making those mistakes, a lot of times being in a salon or spa setting, you have a team, you have seniors, you have senior estheticians, junior estheticians, someone there that can help guide you along the way. And then you're gleaming and practicing. Okay, you have a better relationship on how to price, how to charge, how to build menus. And so I think open concept is missing, but Sweets is continuously growing. But I do believe many individuals with the economy are going to go back into more team because they're going to start back collaborating. So got to be able to make some sound decisions. So everybody needs a mentor. So right now you can start searching for your mentor because you don't have time to make a lot of mistakes. If it's already been set out for you, why don't you just listen and follow, and just take you a year to just glean. Okay, take you a year to just learn, and then from there go full force ahead. Okay, we list the principles that contribute to success. Self actualization. You got to be able to motivate yourself. Do anyone have a quote that they tell themselves every day, or an affirmation that you tell yourself every day? All right. So you may look in the mirror and say, "Not today." Say, we ain't going out like that. Or you may look in the mirror and say, "I'm a winner." Okay. You got to be able to realize your worth. I can tell sometimes when people don't have a serious level of worth. Yes. You finished eating on me? Thank you. You ain't gonna eat no more for me? No. You want to keep your apple juice? Or you don't want it? You want to keep it? Thank you. No problem. Hope your appetite picks up. You're welcome. With that zero Sprite, you still drinking on? Still drinking. All right. I need your water for you, okay? Hello. Y'all have hello, anybody? Hello. Hold on, guys. We're gonna get some papers tonight. All right, so back at self actualization, knowing your self worth. I was stating that I could tell when someone has an issue with their self worth, or sometimes by the way they charge, the weight of what you charge. Sometimes it could be you don't, either you hadn't been in the right rooms or sat at the right tables to know what the value of that service is, or you have replaced the value of the service with a hustling mentality. Okay. So I want you guys to be very, very mindful that the prices you're set, you have to be strategic about them. Okay. And your self-worth, what you allow to you put up with. Okay. You have to first build those things up within yourself, and then you can go out. The first 5 years, I see a lot of people fold in the industry in the first 5 years. Most of the time, it's because they'll say, um, lack of service, lack of clients. It's never a lack of clients. It's a lack of motivation. It's a lack of, and I don't want to say the H word, but it is a lack of hustle. Okay, I've seen students graduate license in 30 days, and 8 months down the line making $100,000. What did this student do? They used all of their free platforms, didn't pay a thing for, and engaged with people. They got out and went to events and engaged with people. They made it their day to service so many people. And so they believed in themselves that much that they didn't give up. So some of us just have to build our belief back up in ourselves and say, okay, Remember, there's no secrets to success, but if you want it, it's in your hand. You can really get it. All right. And you don't have to do like everybody else have done. It is so many new strategies out there. Just pick one. Okay. If that don't work, pick another one. But don't ever give up. All right. Action steps for success. Sometimes we have to create a vision board. Sometimes we got to get a prayer board. Okay. We got to put some things in place. We got to have some goals. So we got to have those action steps. And look at these bad habits. All right. You can identify these bad habits. We got to move on. Procrastination will pause you every time. Some people get a kick out of last minute stuff. They get an adrenaline out of last minute stuff. Okay. Last minute stuff could make you miss out on millions of dollars. The big deals, last minute stuff. All right. So we got to kick that procrastination. Perfectionism. This is a big one I see with students. Perfectionism. That's a big one I see with students. You want to be perfect. You want something to be perfect. And everybody is a work in progress. So the goal is getting as close to perfect as possible. And we practice. The misconception and the myths, people say practice makes perfect. Some people only want to do it 1 or 2 times. And because it's not perfect yet, they want to give up. But it's something you got to keep practicing. You got to keep honing your skills. And if you don't stay at it, you're not going to get better. And then there's no game plan. You just going about this thing. You ain't got no plan. You ain't got no end goal. You just don't figure it out. And so, yeah, people feel stuck. They feel, like they're underachieved. You didn't have a goal to reach. You just went through the motions every day. That's the worst place to go because it's going to make you unhappy. And then when you see your friend really hit those goals and having success and accomplishing things in life, guess what? We start feeling a certain kind of way. So it's time for us to really get our act together. It's time to really get our act together, okay? Motivation and self-management. Next level in your career, stay the course and embrace creativity. Look, we don't know it all, but I love being around young people. And I'm 45 and I love being around young people. And the reason I love being around young people, they fresh. They don't have any stale talking. They're always talking about in the future. They're creative. And let me tell you, being around young people make older people live longer. Okay, it keeps our brain going. And I'm not mad at them because they're younger. I want to really glow and glean from them. All right, I want to glow and glean from them. And so you have to think about what's the next level in your career. The biggest thing, you came to school, you're getting the hours, then you're getting the license. What's next? No way we can get our license, do the same thing we were doing before our license. So we got to level up somewhere. Okay. And then stay the course. We're not giving up easily. Ain't no way. This is not a fight that you're going to let the enemy win. If that's a preach, okay? You're going to stay the course. If you have given up a lot in your life, you have to really sit back and say, what is going on? And really, we could get deeper and say, is that a generational curse in our family that, we quit everything? But I need you to finish. And sometimes the enemy knows exactly how successful and how powerful you are. And those little things will get thrown in your path and it'll look like big things to you and discourage you. I don't care how big it is from this point forward. Don't give in. Okay? Stay the course. And embracing creativity, do something you ain't never did before. Be inspired by something you've never been inspired before. Okay. Design a mission statement. You got to have most businesses will have a mission statement, a logo, Okay, short-term goal, long-term goal. That's where we're getting at. All right. So get you a mission statement that you can read that sets you afire. Okay. A purpose and values by which an individual or institution live and work for. What do you stand for? That's your mission statement. Integrity, great character, okay? Professionalism, provides direction. The mission statement tell us where we're going, and it sets goals. All right. We know we're not going to be here long. We're just here for a season. Setting long term and short term goals. All right. Goal setting, short term goals, and long term goals. My friend has this training that's called 10-year plan, Miss Ava. And I'm going to have her come on. But at one time, I told Miss Ava, I can't see 10 years. I have so much going on in my life. I can't see 10. I can see 5, and I'm praying on 5. Okay, let me get 5 at a time. But the short term goal should be, let's finish this course. Let's get that license because we know it's in reach. And that long term goal could be, what are we doing with our career? What's the next level to our career? And we know in order to get to that next level, we had to get this paper. We got to get this license. We got to go through this part to go to the next level. All right. And so everybody should have realistic short term goals. And it can go from boom, 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 keep going until you really surpass your long term goal. Always take a moment and look back at it. Demonstrate and effective time management. Let's prioritize. What's the most important? Okay. What's the most important? Let's prioritize. Let's personalize your system. Yes, it may be what somebody else was doing and you copied off of it because said, oh, I guess since they do it, this is how you're supposed to do it. But you ever heard of take a little bit from them, take a little bit over here, and then mix a whole lot of you in it? Okay. You can take, you don't have to remake the plan, remake the wheel or the blueprint. You take the blueprint, see the direction, see how they go, and then you can add your sauce to it. Okay. Personalize your own system. It's your way, and there's nothing wrong with it. Don't take on too much. You're always yesing about everything. You may want to say, not right now. It's too much to handle. I've been a yes person before because I didn't want to disappoint anybody. But it was so much on my nerves. It was so much stress that it made you sick. And people say, well, how do you do it? I'm like, what do you mean? It was nobody but God that allowed me to do all of those things. And then at one point, God was like, hey, you have a choice. You got a choice. Okay. And I choose me. I choose my health. Learn to use problem solving techniques. If we're going off on everybody, we don't have no problem solving techniques. How it's resolutions. How do we resolve this? That's my biggest thing while we've been here at the hospital. How do we resolve this? All right, so that's the issue, but how do we resolve this? How do we fix this? That's always been my plan. And plan downtime. I love a good vacation. Can somebody unmute, tell me what's one of your favorite places to go for downtime? Don't have to be a vacation, something in the city, out the city. What do you do to relax your brain? And give me 2 people. What are you doing to relax your brain? Two people. And Amber already been. Dallas and
Hey, hey, this is Dallas. This is Duchess. Lately, what I do to relax my mind, I take some time. Like when I get up in the morning, usually, I suffer from ADHD, and I kind of just run around, just doing stuff without like any intentions or just doing stuff as it come up. But lately, I take time to write down, try to schedule what it is that I want to do during the day. When I wake up in the morning, usually about 4 o'clock in the morning, I spend some time with myself and with God. I try not to pick up my phone right away. I'm lately listening to podcasts and surrounding myself by more positive settings, like
Yeah.
spend time in nature and stuff like that, and just try to get my head together and collect my thoughts versus moving how I normally do. So, yeah,
That is good.
kind of what I do.
Taking a moment.
Yeah.
That's good. Taking a moment to yourselves. I like that. I like that. Keep doing that.
Uh-huh.
Keep doing that. My next person, Jemiah, what's your downtime? How do you relax?
To be honest, Miss D, it's been a long time since I've been able to relax. But
Yeah.
I do travel a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just traveling is kind of therapeutic to me. It's motivational more than anything when I travel. In my downtime, I just really just scroll and look at brow reels. Like I'm obsessed with hair and waxing, but that's pretty much just relaxing to me.
Oh, wow. Cool. I like that. Do you do ASMR? Do you, those sounds attract you when you're looking at those reels?
Not really. I kind of like crunk songs.
Okay, well,
not
awesome. That's good.
not
We
really, but I do like gospel though. I can't say that that's kind of more common.
Yeah.
I'll put that on before I put on the sounds and stuff.
Uh-huh. So
Yeah.
something just to kind of calm your spirit down first.
Yes, ma'am. That kind of helps me relax as well.
Okay, get settled. I like that. I like that. And we gotta have our moment, y'all. We gotta have our downtime. This is my phone. We got to have our downtime. So yeah, we can get busy with family and work and everything. I know everybody has a lot going on, but you got to squeeze some time out for yourself within that 24 hours. Okay. I have been guilty of not doing that. And it has caused stress. And I no longer want to feel that. So I had to make it. I'm still understanding that it's okay to have a little me time for destiny. So I think as we evolve and grow as women and men, we learn that even more and we appreciate that even more. It doesn't mean your people have to go, astray, but it just means you're not superwoman. Okay, so let's start to take a moment out for us. Some people love to exercise. Some people love to stretch. They love to do a whole lot of things. And so find that thing that you like to do and just have your moment. All right. And so that's prioritizing, um, personalizing your system. Don't take on too much. Learn and use problem solving techniques, planning downtime, and carry a notepad, organize a tablet, or other digital application because you never know when you may get those thoughts. For me, especially, I'm thinking of strategies and business to do list, excuse me. I may have a notebook. I know my notes in my phone. I got over 2,000 notes in my phone. I don't know about you guys, but I keep a lot of stuff in my notes. I do like notebooks. Right now, I have one notebook and I keep a lot of notes. Sometimes, if I'm really praying that the Lord give me vision and strategy about what to do in business, I will go to bed with a notebook. And sometimes I get it. Hey. And sometimes I would get it. And when I do get it, I will wake up and put those notes down really, really quickly. Okay. So make sure you guys are keeping a journal. Make sure you're keeping a notebook and keep that together.
My bad, Destiny. I was in the kitchen, but my downtime would be like taking relaxing showers, long relaxing showers. And
Ooh,
washing my hair and buying new good skincare products. And this,
enjoying it.
yes,
Enjoying that lushness of those products. I love it.
yes.
I love it. And you know what one of my downtime is? It's kind of like showers, but it's bath. It's a
Yeah.
and I like all my good stuff in the bath. Um, yeah, so I like all of my good stuff in the bath. I want to put my shower, not my shower beads, but I want all my little relaxing salts. I want my tea bags. I don't know if anybody does a tea bag in their bath. It's, I don't want to say to die for, it's to live for. But I put my tea bags in the bath, and I put goat's milk in the bath and hot water. Oh my goodness. You talking about your skin so soft, like a baby's behind. But
Try that.
yeah, I like to do that. Orange slices. Some people still use roses, but orange slices, it's just a nice aesthetic, and it's just you relaxing. I may even watch a movie in the tub, you know, just my quiet time. That's my space. I know ain't nobody supposed to be here. That's me in my space, and I make sure I don't put any bentonite clay in there. Not a lot, because bentonite clay could cause us to relax our bodies too much and we'll fall asleep. Our body literally falls asleep in the shower. We'll be like, I'm so heavy. Why I can't get up? But it's bentonite clay, it's a detoxer, and it pulls all impurities out of your body. So you feel like, whoa, like what happened? You'll feel like this drunk spirit while you're in the tub. It feels like you're asleep, and you're gonna get a good night's sleep. So it just depends on where you are, but I like to do that. That's good. Demonstrate effective time management. We're gonna make schedules. I don't know about y'all. I got about 3 alarms in the morning. Identify. I got 3 alarms in the morning, 3 alarms at night. Pretty much every feeding from my mom, I have an alarm. Okay. Identify the best times for productivity and relaxation. Only you know when you're at your best time of the day. What is your peak time to pay attention? What is your peak time that ideas flow? Are you a night person? Are you a day person? Catch you best in the afternoon. I mean, it's something for you to really understand when you're in business, when you start to work, when you're building a clientele. We need to know what's the best time of day for you. Okay, reward yourself. It's okay, and I still don't buy purses and shoes unless I've completed like this something very, very big. So it may be once a year I may spend some money on something expensive. And lately it's just been perfume. So I got a pair of New Balances that are about $29. And they're the most comfortable pair of New Balances, and everybody compliments them. But I am so excited that they only cost $29. And my sister and my brother-in-law, they're really big on shoes. So every day they have a different pair of shoes. The kids are big on shoes. I'm the only one that is not like a Jordan person. I'm just a $29 New Balance or $50 pair of Adidas. That's all. That's all I can give you. I can't give you nothing else. It's hard for me to spend a lot of money on shoes. And but I can easily do it on perfume, but it's normally when I have completed a task and I'm proud of myself, and that's the only time I probably splurge a little bit on perfume. But that's it. But reward yourself. Whether it's ice cream, Starbucks, whether it's, getting your gift card from your favorite restaurant or taking your, whatever it is, reward yourself. You deserve it. Okay. And then plan exercise. I do got to get more into exercise, but plan exercise, y'all. I have found after this fast, I ain't really got to do a whole lot of meat. But because we didn't do meat our first 30 days, I think 21 days of January. But I am good on certain meats. I ate some chicken. I just felt too overstuffed. It's some chicken sandwich. And maybe every other day I make it have some meat. I don't have to have meat, y'all. And I'm thankful for that. Some I remember times that I would never go without meat, but I still deal with not adequately eating enough throughout the day. So I'm still down to one meal a day and maybe a snack. I'm not, I probably should do more meals a day per my trainer, but I haven't got there yet. I feel like I'm so busy and got stuff going on. If I eat one time, that's good. And today I haven't eaten. No, I think I had a chip and I had some tea. I haven't eaten anything today. So I'm already on the bad side. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure it out. Schedule a block of free time daily. Woo. Usually that would have been my lunch break, just having a moment, just breathing, musang. Um, get ready for my to-do list. I'm a mathematical learner, so I have and I create a lot of task lists. And for me, if I can create the task list and follow the list, I don't need to be micromanaged because if you give me a list of stuff to do, I'm gonna bring you back the list done. Okay. And so that's me being logical. That's my mathematician coming out. So that's most people. And then make time management a habit. If you can remember this about time, I think you'll always keep this at the forefront of your head. Yes, time is currency. They said time is money. But also, time is one thing in the world that you can never get back. Okay? Some people say rewind, but that moment you'll never get back. Okay? And so you have to be serious about your time. You don't want your time is precious. You don't want your time wasted. You don't want to waste nobody else's time. That's in family, business, relationships. It doesn't matter. But we have to make sure that we have a good sight on our time. All right. You guys even had a time for coming to school, 7.5, 7 to 9 months. That was the time. You got to be done in 7 to 9 months. Okay. Because you got stuff to do. Not saying Ms. Cox wanted to put you out, but why would you stay here longer than you have to? You got stuff to do. You got to change the world. So the max is 9 months. If anybody has been here past 9 months, it shows that there have been a lack of respect for their time, for my time, for the time in school. You just think you got all the time in the world, and we don't. Everybody on this Zoom will be finished from this month to June. July is the latest. And I do have the graduation date. Let's see. Let me find it in my phone. I still hadn't posted it. We have the location of the graduation and everything. July the 19th, 2025. I think it's a Saturday. It's gonna probably be like 3 o'clock p.m. But I'll create a flyer and drop it. Everybody can plan now. July the 19th is your graduation date. That's for everybody. My day students, my night students, my Cosmo, everybody. That's everybody's graduation date. And so we're going to have graduates every month up until graduation day. The school graduation trip, July 24th through the 29th. And it's Cancun. It's a $50 deposit. I need to drop that. But some people getting their tax money, you can go ahead and pay for your trip how it is, and that's your graduation trip. And I set it up like that so we can really celebrate in Mexico. I just love celebrating with my students. Okay. But that's gonna be my enjoyment. That's gonna be my downtime, y'all. And so I plan to work this first quarter, this second quarter, and really chill in July before we start up for the last the last half of the year. That's my thing. And I always think a little forward. Okay. Um, employ successful learning tools, repetition. You're not going to be successful at something as you learn it and then you don't keep doing it. We talked about that with practice makes perfect. Perfect makes, the more you practice, the better you get. Organization, mnemonics, word associations, and acronyms and songs or rhymes. If you like having music on, if you like having a beat on and you can bob your head, you're probably a musical learner. You're probably a rhythm learner. So that means when you study, it's okay for you to have on some tunes, some jazz, something with a beat. You may tap your fingers, you may hit the desk. That is totally okay because of you being a rhythm learner, sound helps you remember what you're supposed to remember. Okay? So sound is very essential when you're studying. If you are a person that loves music, and as long as there's a little beat in the background, you're fine. Okay? And so that's a way that people learn. Acronyms as well. For example, I see Mr. Denser. That's all of the systems of the body. Okay? Word associations, where, and I always say this to help students with public speaking. Whether the weather is cold, whether the weather is hot, we'll be together no matter whether you like it or not. And that's just a cool, and they use that for choirs too. It's just a cool word association that helps you express your terms and helps you open your mouth and speak clearly using W words. And so for people that have to do speeches and they're going to be before people and got to do a presentation, that's something people train their voice with, that word association. And you may have heard of pickle, popper, pepper, word association. All right. And so those are some learning tools. Also, we're looking at foundations of successful learning tools, visual study guides. So you may have individuals who are visual people. They have to see something, okay? When you take notes, you may take different color highlights. You may write in different color markers. You have to see it on the paper. I am a board person, and y'all remember my chalkboard. I'm a colorful person. I do mind maps. That's how I learn instead of having a whole lot of papers and stuff. So once I learn it off the paper, I try to test myself and retrieve the information by doing word association and mind maps. One term will get you to the next term. So this is why we need to study our terms, because if you know your terms, you can pass any test. Okay? Establishing good study habits, small tests, chunks of time. Some people can do great on tests because they studied just the night before. Keywords or phrases, remembering that, ask questions, and it's okay to have study groups. There are individuals who prefer to just be alone. I take this grade by myself. I don't really want to share the responsibility with somebody else. But then there are some people that absolutely love being in a team. Okay. And so if you love studying with someone, get with someone. But if you don't get in a group and you enjoy being alone, okay, because you're just going to make the group sour. And somebody's never going to be, it's never going to be right for you. Let's define ethics. Okay. Now, when we do our white coat ceremony is going to be done before the graduation. The white coat ceremony really is to establish you guys with the ethics of the beauty industry, specifically strong ethics as an esthetician. All right. And so some things that we know, we've talked about them. Being professional, giving your clients your best, never holding back. All right. Building the ethics as you grow, learning more about them, It's just like building your character, your integrity. When you work with someone, people get to recommend you on how well you did the job, how amazing it was for you to work with them. So you have to think, in 10 years from now, what would people say? What will your classmates say about you 10 years from now? Okay. Are they going to remember you as nice, or just like one of the YouTube videos, the lady said 40 years of a bad attitude? Are you going to be older and bitter? You're going to hang on to stuff too long that's going to really ruin your mood and ruin your day? Okay. With ethics, are you going to be honest? Are you going to do the best you can for your clients, or you're going to cheat your clients? You're going to overprice them and not give them what's we're talking about ethics here. Okay. That couples with integrity. Okay. Then we look at our professional ethics. We embody these qualities: self-care. We got to take care of ourselves, integrity. And how many of you guys understand that what you present, your clients are looking at? You're taking up aesthetics, which is the creme of the creme. Okay. The top of the top. And if you're looking any kind of way, they're going to perceive that that's how it's supposed to be. All right. So, not saying you got to wear heels every day, but it was in day spas, you did have to wear a short heel. Back in the day, they did wear slacks. They did wear button downs. They were business casual. All right. So, even if you choose to wear scrubs or whatever you choose to wear, it needs to be professional. It needs to be clean. It needs to be neat. Okay. Your clothes should not be hanging all off of you. Your shoes also should be clean and neat. We don't want to have any slouchiness. So what you present really determines your income. All right. So self-care, integrity, discretion. Sometimes people will vouch for people just because, but that person goes out there and does something horrible. And they're going to say, well, you vouched for them. Now your integrity is going to come in question. So your recommendations are going to have to be light and use discernment in those recommendations, because I don't know. People do it all the time. They say one thing to get your approval, and then the next thing they do the totally opposite. All right. But when your reputation is on the line, you got to be careful. Use your discernment. Okay. Which is also discretion and communication. Learn to communicate. And communication means intaking. We call it encoding. Take it in. And processing, decoding. So I'm going to take it in, what they're saying, and then I need a moment to break it down so I can understand what they're saying. Some people just hear it and respond, and you haven't even processed what the other person is saying. So in communication, yes, it takes two people. You need to have effective communication. That begins with listening. But also there's encoding, if you want to make note, and decoding. I'm listening to what the person said, and then let me decode what they said. Let me break it down. Oh, now I have an understanding. And a lot of times this takes seconds, y'all. Our brain is so mature and so clever. It takes seconds for you to break down what that person is saying, and then you process it and you return with another form of encoding and decoding. Sometimes we may have, when you've worked at other jobs and things like that, they call it professional development. You can take that experience from your jobs and bring it into your career that you're doing now. And if you never had a manager or supervisor, this is also another reason that as you go into being your boss, your leader, having your own, that you do some pruning. Take some classes about professional development. Pick up some podcasts. Look at some YouTube videos about public speaking, decision making. TikTok is a launching pad for education. Okay, so is YouTube. So if you don't go to school, you didn't learn it, and you're starting out, pick up those traits in your spare time. You're building yourself. You're investing time in being a better you. So developing a positive personality and attitude. Your personality starts developing at 3 years old. Okay? 3 years old. And it continues to evolve. So when people say, I'm just like that, I ain't going to change, that means they have stopped wanting to change. They have stopped wanting their behavior to change. Okay? Positive characteristics, diplomacy, pleasing tone of voice, emotional stability. You don't want to have people all over the place, but I do understand when I meet people and they have dealt with anxiety, a serious case of nervousness. It's okay. Okay. My ultimate job is just get them to a place of trust and relaxation. Okay. If I can get them to a place of trust and relaxation, we'll be okay with everything else. All right. So you want to have an emotional stability. That's going to help with your decision makings as well. So your massage, your meditation time, your worship time is going to help with that emotional stability so you can be the best in your business. Okay. Because you don't need to make emotional decisions that you'll be like, I shouldn't have did that, and you got to go turn everything around. Sensitivity. Sometimes you I'm sorry, y'all. I'm trying not to catch a cold. But sensitivity, sometimes you got to build your strength up. Okay. You can't. Sometimes you hear people say this is not for the weak. They say all the time, Memphis is not for the weak. You're going to have to build your strength up. Okay. This is where mentors and coaches come in to help you build it up as you go. So, also, it's nothing wrong with a therapist. Okay. They all help you become better. Values and goals. You have values and goals. No one can treat you like you're the bottom because you've already set the standard. Receptivity. You require this, but you also give it. Okay. Effective communication skills. You listen, observe, retain, respond. All right. Good communication skills is your the way you look in your face also. What you're doing with your hands, your body language, your gestures, all of that falls into communication skills. So sometimes we have to have changed behavior to change. Sometimes our situation requires changed behaviors. We cannot base it on where we grew up at. We can't do that. We can't base it on where we grew up at. I'm a product of my environment. No, we can't do that at all. It will not fly. Let's look at summary and review, and we're closing this thing out. Use your time effectively. Attitudes and perceptions shape the condition of our life. All right. Along with friendships, school is a perfect time to practice the skills and concepts that you're learning. We practice. These are our objectives, and that's a wrap, guys. We have just finished chapter 1. I'm going to prepare a study guide that's chapter 1 and chapter 2. Okay. I'll drop it tomorrow. We will pick up on chapter 2 on Friday. All right. If you guys need anything from me, I want you to, if I need to figure out, I don't know what the assignment is that I gave out Monday on the top of my head, but I can go back and look at the video. If you were not on Monday night, the class video was only 30 minutes. It has the assignment on there. Go back and look at that video and just look for the study guide for chapter 1 and 2 to come out. I did get some tests. Ms. Richardson is, we're putting those together. So thank you guys for doing everything in a timely manner. I appreciate it. This was recorded and it will be dropped in the group. If it's not, you don't see it immediately, it's always going to live on our YouTube page. Okay. So y'all have a blessed and amazing day.
Misty,
Who's speaking?
this Dynasty, I got a question.
Uh-huh.
I want to know when the next time you sending out our hours and how much our remaining balance is.
Okay, that's what I was saying. We are, I think earlier in the class. I'm gonna try to get it to you tomorrow. We're trying to get everybody put together so we can just send out tomorrow. I would be sure
Okay.
to make sure I send that over to you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
No problem. And then we got a graduate soon. So we're gonna have to celebrate. And I also provide you guys with a calendar. I'm just trying to finalize some stuff on my home base of when we're getting ready to come back in the building. So super excited about that. A lot of good things are happening in February, and talk to you guys soon. So look for that tomorrow. Yeah. I definitely got to get my senior students. Okay. So I get everybody on here first, and then we'll start sending everybody else out after I take care of my students here. Y'all have a blessed night.